Welcome back to the stream. It's been a while. Glad to be reconnecting with you. Been a lot of changes, not the least of which is my beloved Chickering piano. Seems to have died. Poor thing. The great piano tuner and technician says the life of a piano is 40 to 50 years, and this one's 38 years old. So I think I'm going to trade it in. But we'll talk more about that and a lot of other new beginnings that are happening here at the stream. Glad you're with us. Now that is a sunflower, right? Some of you know the terrible flood we had and how the bridge, the middle bridge, was totally washed away. It's now become a little bit of an extra dock over there, and this beautiful new middle bridge has been built. It's really spectacular. It's wider than it was, it's stronger than it was, it's higher than it was, and it will withstand I am so happy to see you again and have you come back visiting, even though it's just sort of virtual, but you're visiting the stream, and I'm glad. And I'm sorry it's been such a long time between times, but there's been a lot of changes, not the least of which was Butter's passing, which is in the letter, and I'll say a little bit later. But I really do want you to think about how you might be willing and available and really interested in participating in what we're doing here at the stream. So there's a survey that's attached to this letter, and I hope you fill it out. I hope you'll be in touch. And if there are things on there that I didn't even put on, just give us your feedback. You know, when Butter died, and this is her grave, so I'm just going to show you where dear Butter is buried. When Butter died, which was in June, I went through that experience that I know everybody goes through with the loss of something, someone, a dear one. As I was processing all of that, I understood in a new way how important it is to be very intentional about allowing God to do this excavation, and then to be very intentional about asking Him to fill it, replenish it, restore that void. The problem is we're way too full of things. Somebody right after Butter died said, well, did you get another dog yet? And it's like, no. I could have replaced that vacuum, that void, with another dog, I guess, immediately, or I could have eaten as much chocolate mint ice cream as I would have liked to, or, gone on some other kind of bingey, thing. But we, as sons and daughters of the Most High God, know that He alone is the one that is supposed to fill all the empty places in us. And I just affirm to you that maybe you're going through a loss of something now, relational or financial, or I don't know, but the Lord is sufficient. He is more than enough, always has been. This is the new worship deck area. We haven't used it a lot yet, but the times we have, it's been really amazing because there's this unbelievable open heaven. So many people have expressed to me that they've never actually just worshiped God freely and joyfully in the great outdoors. So again, part of the big message of the stream is to understand more of His nature through His nature, and this is a great place to do that. We're going to have a wedding here the last day of Sukkot, of Tabernacles, on the 29th of September. So that's always a great new beginning too. But more than that, I feel that the Lord is beginning to bring together the very small intentional groups, not just here, but this is something that He is actually doing. I don't want to mess this up, so I jotted a few ideas down. They're going to be very closely knit teams that are very passionate for God, and people that are not only prophetic and gifted, but they're really broken people as well. They're people who, have an authentic history with God, and if you have that, you will have come through suffering, you will have come through betrayal, you will have come through a lot of things, and yet appropriated His deliverance and His healing. And so those are the kinds of folks. Kingdom-minded, people that are really into bringing heaven on earth, bringing heaven on earth, and people that will have a real heart for God's ultimate plans for Israel and the Jewish people. The destiny of Zion is still, there's a great mystery that's involved with that and the church. And to grapple with that is something I believe this team is going to do. People won't be interested in the game of name and fame, or fame and name, whichever name you like to call that game. They won't be jealous or envious of each other, or intimidated or unsettled by each other. There'll be a corporate interest, and that interest is hungering and thirsting truly for the glory and the honor of Christ alone, and a recognition that we actually have been saved. Our whole purpose here is to allow Him to heal our hearts and then mold our hearts in Christ-likeness, so that we will be people that want to bring the Lord pleasure. I envision this as a little landing strip for the presence of God. And of course that comes with worship. Worship in spirit and truth is really it's simply responding to what God has already done for us. I think the word in Christendom that ought to be emphasized more than anything else is already. It's done. It's finished. He said it's finished. One of the things I don't like in worship is when people cry out, "More, Lord, more, God, more, give us more." No, we have to recognize, appreciate, and celebrate what He's already given us. He's given us everything that pertains to life and godliness. So this would be a people, again, functioning corporately, who, as a lifestyle, have that recognition and that ongoing appreciation. And it's natural. It's not something you have to work up or anything. It just is actually, when you realize your next heartbeat and your next breath really is a gift. Well, so worship that we do here or ever isn't to get something else or something new or something different, but it's really filled with gratitude and thanks and praise for what He has already done, and mostly just for who He is. So we offer ourselves. That's the company of people will be people who corporately offer themselves, not something necessarily, but our very lives. And we offer them simply for His good pleasure, the pleasure of His company, abiding in His presence corporately, which is very different from our private, personal, closet kind of prayer. And most churches actually accommodate that privatization and individuality. I mean, you can go to a service and hold on to all of that and sort of participate and have it be a service thing. But what I'm talking about are people who genuinely want to come together in accountability and transparency before the one before whom we all will ultimately come. So ponder these things. Thank you for spending this time with us. Please do the survey, and please share this video, and come back again. Thanks again. Blessings.